What is up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Working on Lil Stu, the blue RX-7. So first in Door Creek, we are getting ready to put power to this old car for the first time in probably 20 years. And we're gonna see if the thing burns to the ground. Now, if you remember from the last video, we don't have a starter, okay? So I went ahead and ensured that the starter is not contacting anything important down under the car. However, if you also remember from back in the series, we didn't have an ignition switch in this car, right? It had been taken out prior to us getting the car. We didn't have a key switch. So, being the RX-7 guy that I am, I went down to my cars. We've got another switch with the key that turns. So we're not exactly going to like final install this thing right now, but what this switch allows us to do is hook up ignition to the car. So we've got all the wires under here exposed. We're just going to start plugging stuff in where it fits, which is generally pretty easy on these cars. A lot of this stuff really only fits in one place. The one that does get tricky, this one here has a fuse. Y'all probably can't really see it just with the focus there. These little, it's like a fusible link. It's on the black with yellow wire. I think that's your actual like tell it to crank over wire. So that goes in there. You got a big beefy wire goes in there. You got a little 3-prong wire goes in there, and then you got another little two wire clip that goes in there. So you get them all hooked up. Now we turn the key on. We should have full beans, power, and everything. It's actually kind of neat if you've never seen how your steering wheel lock works. So this piece right here is the actual lock, okay? And that's the part that when that gets pushed down, your steering wheel is allowed to turn, okay? When you operate your key, right, it pulls that down. When you take your key out, watch this, it's going to pop out. Boom. Now your steering wheel is locked. Push this in, turn it, disappears. So that's how your steering wheel lock works. Fun fact. So if you're ever trying to, acquire an RX-7, these are actually pretty easy to take off. Then you can operate the steering wheel, which is, I actually removed this so I can get the car on a trailer. But let's go ahead and see what happens when we give this thing some power. I don't believe that this key switch itself needs to be grounded, but if it does, we'll figure that out when we get there. So we know that the positive battery cable, I'm not going to close the door for the sake of your ears, that the positive battery that is on the starter is not touching anything. We'll know if it is actually, oh, that's a little sketchy. We got some exposed 12 volts right there. We'll know if it is touching something really quick though. The ignition system on this car has been pillaged for the resistors, which is fine because we're going to convert this to a newer style ignition. So let's see. A little touch. Nothing's burning to the ground right now. Oh, baby. It's not on fire. Okay, let's go turn the key on, see what happens. Turning on the key. And if nothing happens right here, I'm going to go grab a starter. We're going to put a starter in this thing and see what's up. I got nothing. Hey, I bet that this wire went to here. Y'all hear that? It's turning stuff on. So when you change out the battery terminal on your RX-7, the stock battery terminal actually has 2 wires coming off of it. A big fat one that goes down to the starter, and a smaller one that goes to this fuse block right here on the fender. Right there. And as you can see, the main feed power wire for that fuse block, which is this black wire right here, is actually not on there. So that's not giving our car any power. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a vice grips and clamp this to that. Copper showing right there. Make sure our vice grips good and tight. Bam. Not touching the ground. Didn't burn to the ground yet. Let's go back inside and turn the key on. I just want to see the pop-ups go up, honestly. Like, that's a huge win for this car. So we're going to go ahead and turn the headlights off. It's this right here. Actually, they'll go up. Okay, maybe they won't go up. Oh, hey. Noises. We just had a bad ground. Things are happening. There's the hazard button. How many people have turned their hazards on in their car? It's this, ain't it? There we go. There we go. No way this thing has a functional door chime. Oh. It's making noise. We got a horn, but I just broke the horn button. Good stuff. Okay, let's not short that out to anything. Pop-ups, pop-ups. Oh, look at that. It's looking like we're having some failed operations within the multifunction switch. No big deal. Look at the pop-ups. Those are up. Definitely some custom groundwork that we've got to start working on here. Okay, let's see what else we can get going. Dudes, check this radio out. Look at that. No way. Look at this thing. Oh, we got a station. Do we have a speaker? I'm gonna have to go get a speaker. Let's see if this radio works. We got radio, guys. That's dope. Groovin'. All right, we got radio. Let's go get a starter and see if this thing cranks. Okay, take 6,000 trying to get it to crank. It's gonna crank. We just got a bad spot on the flywheel. Come on. You know you wanna. Woo! It's cranking, boys. It's cranking. Let's pull all the tape off the intake manifold. We didn't want to get any junk in there. All right, tape's off the intake manifold. Let's crank this thing. Woohoo! We got cranks. So I think what we're gonna do, because this will be fun, is let's put the compression tester on it. So we're gonna go ahead and find out if this engine's good or bad. So we're gonna pull the plugs out. I know it's cranking kind of slow, but that's okay. It compensates for that. Trailing plugs out, I'll get my tool, let's check it. That's probably not the best. All right, compression test. Front rotor. Actually, I should probably crank this to just blow any crap out of there. Let's see if any crap comes out. Because if there's, I don't want to gum up my sensor. Okay, so there might actually have been some water in there from whenever I got the engine, or cleaned out the engine bay, which would be that little bit of water we saw in there. So what I'm gonna do right now, it's actually making good pulses. Coming out to the truck. Yeah, it's out here. I'm gonna go ahead and dump some premix in here, just a little bit, down each hole. Help lubricate everything. The oil won't hurt my sensor, but I've been trying out some of the renewable lubricants premix in the truck. Haven't really been driving my truck that much because, well, it's just been that kind of the season, or that time of the year, doing a whole bunch of stuff, working on these cars. But let's put some of that in there. Let's put some of that in there. Put some of that in there. Put some of that in there. Okay. Crank it a little bit. Oh yeah. Come on. Power this dude up. Just get this thing hooked up. Click. Begin cranking. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. A bum starter. Oh, guys, look at that. I don't know if y'all can read that, but I'll read it for you. Okay, so the RPM's slow. We know that. This thing corrects for it. I got 64, 63, 65, and then corrected is 90, 87, 88. Guys, that's really good. Not so much because, I don't know why I'm trying to hunker over the camera. So, guys, that's really good because they're all even, which is nice. No stuck seals. A little bit low. That's okay. Car's been sitting for a very long time. We just shoved some oil in it, so it might be a little higher than normal, but they haven't freed back up yet. So we keep running some oil through this thing, and by the time we're ready to really run this thing this weekend, she's going to be ready to rip. Stoked. Let's check the rear on the thing as well. Okay. Let's go, guys. Rear rotor numbers. What do we got? What do we got? By my ear, sounds about the balance with the front, so we're going to guess right on the money with the front ones. Really. Guys, those compression numbers for that one are off the charts. KPA 1000, PSI 150. All right, let's do it again. Might be a mouse attached to one of the sides of the rotor. Man, we're getting some wacko numbers. It is clearing up though. 130, 140, 98. I don't know. We'll find out. But that is going to be the end of this video, guys. Because it's getting dark. And unfortunately, this week I have to do some traveling for work. So I wanted to bang this video out, get a battery in this thing, get the thing cranking, and see what it does. So I'm stoked, guys. We are well ahead of schedule. We've got the thing cranking. We know the engine. Well, I knew it wasn't locked up, but we know the engine sounds pretty good, that it might run. So we're ready to go ahead. In the next couple videos, we are going to be installing the carburetor. And before that, we're going to actually convert this to the late model style ignition. So I have a video on the channel showing you how to do that, but we're going to go ahead and do it on this car. Since this is a point style, we're going to have to remove some stuff, switch the distributor, change the coils. There'll be a couple different things we change. And as well, that could have been something that was being weird, is that spark plug could have been firing. Heck, what, you know, what are we even thinking? Why don't we try that real quick? We were going to end the video. That trailing coil could be firing because I didn't even pop the cap off. And it could be being really weird back there because I still have one of these resistors hooked up, and that could very well be the trailing side, and it could be trying to, that's dummy. Let's see. You know, the front could just not be firing because, you know, weird stuff, but we're going to check real quick. 5 head, we're thinking about things. We're thinking, okay, that's in. Keys, does it still surge? Yep, okay. Anyways, not the trailing coil, but we tried. So with that, guys, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you guys very much for all the feedback on the series here with Lil Stu, the Blue RX-7. We're getting somewhere. You know, we've only been at this thing for what? Maybe 10 days? And I kind of was out of town this past weekend, so really only during the week after work. It's been getting dark really quick. As you saw earlier in this video, I finished pressure washing the bottom of the car. I got the transmission mount installed. I got new exhaust hangers I'm gonna put on tonight to get the stock exhaust hung back up, which will actually be cool to see this thing, see how many mouse nests come out of it, because, you know, mouse mansion. But hopefully this engine's healthy. We don't have to take it out. And man, it's getting cold, and I'm not too stoked about the whole weather ordeal. So I got parts coming for the rally car. It's been a debacle trying to find a Weber, but I think we found one. So we're dialed. And with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you very much for watching. Keep it rad. Got to get the dog from inside because the neighbor's cows got out, which I'm gonna go put those cows away as well. And she was chasing them. What's up, dog? You gotta say bye? Yeah? What? Can you sit? Come here. Sit down. Give me a high five. High five. You missed. High five. Oh, good job. Peace, guys.